regards to Lemieux, it would seem that he's the type, like from just now, that he's not the sort of person, he doesn't really like watch tape, he doesn't do like he doesn't know know a lot about like boxing's past or any of that sort of thing. Is this something, he's just a guy who he goes out and he fights. Is this something that you think is going to be a benefit? Like when Gennady goes in up against him, or is it immaterial?
It's not only David Lemieux that doesn't watch tape. There's a lot of fighters that don't watch tape because David Lemieux is going to fight differently against Gennady Golovkin, as Gennady Golovkin is going to fight differently against David Lemieux than he did against William Monroe and against Rubio. Lemieux is going to fight different against Golovkin than he fought against Endam and Rosado. So once they get inside the rings, they're going to do everything to prepare to get inside the ring and do the best that they can do. David is going to do the best that he can do, and Mark is going to prepare him for that, and we're going to prepare Gennady to do the best that Gennady can do. Now, it's just a matter of who can impose their will once they get inside the ring. Videos are important just to see mistakes, tendencies, what they like to do after certain things, but to think that they're going to fight like that is ludicrous.
And so now that you're finally at this point where finally you're getting to fight competition that seems to be up to the level that Golovkin would appear to be at, I mean, how does that feel?
We've been asking for it. We've been asking for a challenge. I think all great fighters, all great athletes need a mental challenge. Once they get to a certain point where it becomes easy, then they become complacent. And if you give them that mental challenge, which David represents, he'll stay disciplined and he'll stay focused. If you recall in the Monroe fight, after the second round, after he knocked him down, he kind of went into auto mode. You know, he wasn't really interested anymore until he decided to put him away in the sixth, and he put him away. David Lemieux, on the other hand, represents that challenge that's going to keep you focused and disciplined. So I'm happy that we're here.
So then is that really what it was? Because I remember after that fight with Monroe, it was more like, oh, you know, I wanted to give the fans a little bit more. Was it more a case of boredom?
It was a case of not boredom, but Willie's a heck of a fighter. No motivation to put him away. If you knocked him down in the second round, you could put him away in the next round. What's the sense? We're going to go home again after 2 rounds. I think in his mind, he wanted 12,000 people to enjoy a little longer fight. But once he decided, that's why I think it was the 3rd or 4th round, when he put his head down like this and let Willie hit him with a jab and then said, come on. It's like, come on, Willie, come on, make it a fight. You know, let's give the fans something. Once he decided in the 6th round to put him away, he put him away in 3 or 4 punch combination in succession. You know? So it was an easy fight in that regards, but it wasn't because Willie wasn't a good fighter. It's just that Golovkin's on a different level.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that he wasn't a good fighter, but is that a problem? Like if like Golovkin gets unification as you guys plan, and everything you guys have planned has come to pass, then are you going to have like that sort of a problem, do you think?
Well, once he becomes unified champion, then he's got more to risk. I think that there'll be more challenges out there for him coming up, hopefully. There's a young man named Jesse Hart in Philly that's coming up that's doing very well. There's 3 or 4 other guys that by the time 2 or 3 years go by, there'll be those other challenges that are coming up. Those young lions like Gennady was a couple years ago. So we'll have those challenges again. But on the road to becoming somebody where there's money available for other fighters, it's difficult to entice a Lemieux, let's just say, when there's no money available. This fight, because of Gennady's record and HBO's participation and the Garden participation, there's enough money for it to make it worthwhile for them. Where if it would have been like, say, the Monroe fight, the money wouldn't have been there to entice them. So those fights have to be fought so that we can get to this point.
So naturally then, what must be on your mind, if not immediately so, is Cotto and Canelo. What do you think the outcome is going to be in that fight, and how do you think it's going to affect you, most likely?
I think the Canelo wins. I think the youth wins out. I think Canelo's got that going for him, although Cotto is a great talent and is very experienced, but I think Canelo will win a decision. It's not Cotto or Canelo that we're looking for. We're looking to unify the belts. If the winner of Cotto-Canelo refuses to fight us, that's okay. We'll just fight somebody else for the WBC belt. Now he has the green belt. Then we'll go after the next belt.
Right. And so then how do you feel like about the whole Mayweather-Berto? Is that something?
I'm disappointed. As a fight fan, I'm disappointed because Floyd's a great talent. And I don't think this gives him the motivation. He may even look bad, but that goes back to what I said about the motivation with great fighters. Floyd needs the motivation to look great and to get up in the morning and run and do all the things that he does so it doesn't become monotonous. By having Berto as an opponent, I don't think that gives him the motivation. So if he looks bad, it won't be because Berto's that good. It's because Floyd just is not in the fight.
Well, also Floyd is notoriously, he changes his mind a whole lot. I mean, he's retired before. Do you think there's any, and he's also seems to be very affected by what the fans say, even though he says he's not. Do you think there's any possibility that Golovkin and Mayweather that might happen?
If it does, you're talking about 2016, and it's not something that we're looking. Obviously, we love the fight, but it's not something that we're looking at. Right now, we have this fight in our sights, and then the winner of Cotto Canelo, if that happens to go, he'll fight again in the beginning of January somewhere, and then we'll fight again sometime in the summer. I have heard that Roger is kind of sick. So that's one of the reasons that motivates or is motivating Floyd to say that that's going to be it. If that is the case, he's had a great career. Virgil made a very good comment the other day saying we're going to miss him when he's gone. You're absolutely right, we're going to miss him because he's, unfortunately for Floyd, he's the guy we want to hate right now because of his style. Great talent, but because of his style, we want to hate him. But we're going to miss him when he's gone.
So is it more than just as a fan that you miss the opportunity to fight, or as a coach that you would miss the opportunity to fight him?
Both. Because as a coach, obviously, that is a way to measure yourself, measure your fighter to a great fighter. As a fan, I would love to see Floyd challenged, and I think that would create a challenge for him.
Okay. Do you think he was challenged against Pacquiao or no?
No.
Okay.
That was an easy fight for him. I knew he wasn't going to be challenged. I knew it was an easy fight for him. Manny was just too slow and too predictable. Manny's a pattern fighter. He does the same things over and over again. Floyd's too smart for that.
Speaking of like pattern fighters or people that adjust, I was just talking with Lemieux, and he said the difference that he's going to represent when he goes in against Golovkin is that he adapts very easily. Do you believe that? Is that something you're preparing for?
I believe that, but I also believe that Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. So as soon as he catches the first jab, it'll be a different story.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.